one fragrance can contain hundreds of elements. Even a fragrance that seems plain or uncomplicated goes through a complex process.
A person's fragrance experience begins with their personal scent memory and just the right combination of fragrance ingredients. Our goal is to create the longest lasting, highest quality fragrance experience that we can. SCENTSY works with multiple fragrance houses that have access to over 3,000 raw materials or ingredients. These fragrance ingredients are rigorously inspected to ensure quality control standards. At SCENTSY we have an initial scent selection committee of about 16 people, and we work together with the fragrance houses to sort of narrow down the initial field of scent samples that are coming in our door by season.
I'm a fragrance specialist for SCENTSY, and this is my favorite part of the process. This is where I get to engage with other SCENTSY employees, and this is where we get to find out what we've done right and what we can do better. It's really important for us to know how our employees feel about our fragrances, and it's really exciting to be able to put the best product out there for our consultants and our consumers.
To this day, Orville and Heidi still approve every finished fragrance before it makes it into catalog. Heidi is particularly a valuable resource. She's got a great nose and the best scent memory of anyone I have ever worked with. When SCENTSY finalizes a fragrance, we ask the vendor that we're working with to create a molecular profile of that fragrance. The goal behind that is to ensure that all subsequent manufacturing batches that they produce for us meet the exact same standard. At a molecular level, they are identical to the batch that was produced the first time.
SCENTSY continues to use a very high-grade paraffin wax. This wax was specifically designed for SCENTSY as it aligns very well with our warmers to ensure the proper melt point of the wax.
Because of our wax's scent loading capacity, SCENTSY is able to get as much as 2 to 3 times the amount of fragrance oil into one of our bars than what our competitors can. More importantly, it's the quality of the ingredients that we're using within our oils that make all of the difference within SCENTSY. There is a complex mix of top, mid, and bottom notes that are designed to ensure that the fragrance will last and that while it's warming, it will remain consistent over time. We measure our oils by weight, not by volume, when we mix a finished batch of wax to ensure that the fragrance is consistent with every batch that we produce.
We actually selected this site due to the proximity of a main rail line. At any given time, we could have multiple rail cars en route to our Meridian manufacturing facility coming directly from our wax manufacturer supplier. The purity of this liquid wax, it has been outstanding. Well, when we're ready to make the SCENTSY bars, we actually pump the liquid wax into our mixing tanks. That's where we're going to add the oil fragrances and the dyes for the colors.
I can do just about everything in manufacturing, but my favorite is dye mixing. John has to go through and decide what colors to use, and then we get to mix it.
I look at the color of the label, the name of the label that we're going to be using, and then select the color from there. Between the darks and the lights, it's determined which is the best one to use, and from there we go ahead and enter them into our tech manuals, and it's official.
Not long ago, Orville and Heidi started their business by pouring small batches, poured from a pitcher. We have enhanced that process to where we now pour 24 bars at one time rather than just one, and we pour with 88 nozzles rather than one pitcher.
Throughout my time, 5 years, we started out at Atkins Road, and during that time we were manually pouring. We are now currently running high-speed equipment. The unique thing about these processes is that we continuously kept the oil and the dye standards the same. I'm pretty impressed. We haven't changed anything. The only thing that we have done is improving our efficiencies.
In the liquid wax industry, we are the forerunners. This has never been duplicated before Orville and Heidi started this system, and we have just continued to grow.
With fragrance, heat and time are the enemy. Our high-speed production lines allow us to get around both of those constraints or combat them effectively.
Well, these high-speed pouring machines cool the bars very rapidly through the cooling chambers. Then we seal them very quickly to ensure that less fragrance can escape. After the bars are labeled, they are stored in our climate-controlled warehouses ready for shipment to our customers and consultants.
Fragrance is such a critical part of our lives. We love making good fragrances, and it is an honor to be a part of the process of bringing those fragrances into people's lives and building memories.